the first question I got, I'm going to delete that. Blackboard never works, so I don't care nothing about Blackboard. Okay, here's the 5 or 6 questions we got. Let me do by subject. And the first one is 6.2, 30, 30, 35, 39, and 52. So they are in order. Let me check this last one. Yep, they're in order. All right, 6.2, 30/3. First of all, is it a test question? Oh yeah, we hadn't done 6.2 yet. So we'll go over 6.2 today. I thought these were 6.1 questions. Okay, so all these 6.2. Okay, let's go over 6.2. 6.2 is on formulas. Let's go to our handy dandy. 6.2 is on formulas. Now there's 2 types of formula questions. 2 types. First type is plug and what? Plug and chug. That's where you're given a formula and they give you numbers and you plug and chug. Kind of like your science classes. Area is equal to length times width. L is equal to 4. W is equal to 2. A is equal to 4 times 2. A is equal to 8. Okay, this is a very, very basic model, but they give you a formula, they give you the numbers, and you plug and what? Plug and chug. Now I can tell you right now, if I give you a test with 20 math questions on it, there'll be at least one of these on there. So you're talking about, I don't know, 20, that's 10%. 10% would be formulas. 10% of your test will be formulas. So one question will be like this, and then the other question will be like number 2. That's where you solve for a variable. Oops. Okay, solve for a variable. Okay, solve for a variable. And solving for a variable is the one that you're going to see the most of in the homework and the test, probably. Let me give you an example. A is equal to, area of a triangle, is equal to 1/2 base times the height. And I want you to solve for H. I'm going to get my red pen out because there's something you need to put in red right here before you even start the problem. Always clear fractions / decimals first. Okay, and I would multiply through by 2. And that would give me 2A is equal to B times H. And then divide by B. So 2A divided by B is equal to H. Okay, now those are 2 basic examples of what we're going to be doing in 6.2. Okay, so I've given you 2 basic models so you know what we're doing. Also, down here, we got another red note. That means it's very important. I don't have any room. So I'm going to write it right in here. Capital is not equal to the lowercase. If I give you a formula and I give you A is equal, capital A is equal to 1/2 little b, little h, can you change that B and H to a capital? No. Make that a hail to the no, because that is not done. Science, somebody tell me, I'm going to give you an example. In science, you're going to use this guy and you're going to use this guy. Can anybody tell me what the big T stands for in science? Anybody? Come on, give me a guess. And nobody says anything. You know, y'all starting to affect my self-conscious. I think I'm going to have to go out and buy myself some smokestacks and put on my truck. Then I'll have to go out and get some sunglasses and wear them indoors. Nothing. Not even a comment?
The sunglasses indoors is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, have you ever seen somebody wear sunglasses inside?
Oh yeah, I don't understand.
Run. If you're a girl in the classroom, run the other direction. Guys, y'all just have to worry about the Oompa Loompas. The girls that have the caked on makeup, the orange face, and the white neck, then that's when you run. If they have an orange face and a white neck, run. What does the big T stand for?
Total.
Good. That's a good guess, but not in science. Think about science. Okay? Anybody? Nobody got a guess? Okay. The big T if I spell it right, I always want to put an A in it. I don't know if that's right or not. Okay? Temperature. What does the little t stand for in science? Time. So if you write a science formula and it's got a big T in it, then 100% of the science class or 100% of the science community knows that you're asking for temperature because you got uppercase T. Lowercase t means time. That's why when you're dealing with formulas, do you mess with the capital and the lowercase? No, you do not. I know that clashes and it really bothers me, but I'm not going to change it. If it has a capital letter and a lowercase in it, then you leave it a capital and a lowercase. You don't change it. Okay. Now we're going to do some examples, and I'm going to use the homework as examples because basically I've shown you the two types of problems we're going to have. And I'll tell you which type it is as we go over it. Because in this section, there's nothing else I can show you except examples. Okay, so we might as well use the homework as examples. So 6.2, 30/3. First of all, what type of problem is this? It is a plug and chug. Now, you also might want to make a note of this because this is what all banks' interest rates are based off of. This is called the simple interest, or compound interest formula. Write it down, compound interest formula. And the compound interest formula is A equal to capital P 1 plus R over N raised to the nt power. Now, in this case, let's write down what everything is. What is P? P is the principal. Not principal like PAL, your principal pal at school, but principal. At least I thought it was. It may be PAL. Hell, I don't know. I know there's two ways to spell. Let's look it up, because I don't want to lead y'all down a dark path. Principle. Truth or position, theorem of law, numerical. Okay. Well, then yeah, there it is. Principle is with a, well, I always was taught that PAL is like the principal at high school, but I guess I'm wrong. Denoting original sum of money. Person, okay. So this, I was wrong. PAL. I did try to lead y'all down a bad path. Principal. And that is money invested. Write that down. Principal is the money invested. So in this case, I'm glad I got that checked. In this case, you're investing $9,000. You are investing $9,000 in this example. R is your rate, your interest rate. And it's a percentage, so that means you're going to change it into a what? A decimal. N is the number of times the bank will calculate your interest. Number of times bank or institution will calculate interest. So if it's 12, that means monthly. What if it's 4 times a year? What's the word for 4 times a year? Come on, y'all. Y'all live in the real world. What does 4 times a year mean? Starts with a Q.
Quarterly.
Quarterly.
I don't know why I blinked out on that.
I can't get past y'all.
Can we see the whiteboard?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I suck.
Thank you.
You know what it is? It's my self-esteem. That's what it is. What about 2? 2 times a year. Starts with an S.
Semi-yearly?
Semi-annually.
Annually. That's what it was.
Yeah, you got to sound big. You got to put your pinky up when you
It's gotta
say
be fancy.
annual. Annually. Now, if you say semi-yearly, then you're from West Anderson or West LA or LA. So you say semi-yearly. Then what would 1 be?
Annually.
Annually or yearly?
Or yearly, depending on your location.
Depending on if you're from West Anderson. Okay. Now, I give you these because sometimes you're going to see these words in the question. I'm not talking about in my test. I'm talking about like on a standardized test. And if you ever see those words, that means that you got to type in that number for N. And the last thing, I think that's it, T. T is equal to time. And it's just this, okay? T is usually whatever the context of the question is in science. Like if I say, this boat travels at 36 meters per second. Time is already established in the question. T is equal to seconds. Okay, so when you're in science or an application class like science, biology, when you are given a formula and T is in the formula, little t, then you got to read the context of the question to see what the time unit is. In this formula, and you need to write this down and highlight it, T is time in years. You need to highlight the word years. Why? Well, what if I say 6 months? What is T? That means I want somebody to guess. If I say you deposit $5,000 in the bank, in the savings account, and you keep it in there for 6 months, then what is T?
6 over 12.
Which is
6 months.
no 6 over 12. What is that? Reduce it.
Oh, 1/6.
No, it's 1/2. Half a year.
1/2.
Okay, so if I gave you 6 months in a question, you would say T is equal to 0.5. Now that's very important that you understand that, because there will be a question in your future, whether it's in a standardized test or whether it's on my test, they're going to say 6 months. Or they're going to say 3 months. 3 months would be 0.25. So if they give you months, you put it over 12, like Ms. Cersei says. You put it over 12, and that will give you a decimal for your T. A lot of people don't realize that. Okay, so in this question, they give us P is equal to 9,000. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to have to highlight 9,000 because I've already written it. So there's our P. And we'll use pink. Our interest rate in this question is 0.05. Because we have to write it as a decimal. N is 12. And T is 7. So what are we going to do with these 4 numbers? Plug and what?
Plug and chug.
Plug and chug. So here we go. Let's go to the next page. A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. And my 9,000 goes here. My R is 0.05 divided by 12. And N is 12 and T is 7. Now, I want you to get your calculators out, because I am going to let you use your calculators on this, because you're not Rain Man, and you're not going to be able to do this without a calculator. So take your handy dandy calculator out. I'm going to show you the proper way to do this problem on the calculator. You may not like it, you may not be comfortable with it, but it's the right way to do it. The first thing you do is work inside the parentheses. 0.05, turn it on first, and clear, and second quit, There we go. And do the 0.05 divided by 12. Okay, we got the fraction decimal. Now we're going to add that to 1. So you hit 1, add to 1. Now, if you don't have a TI-83 or better, then you might have to do this differently on your Sally Homemaker or your phone or whatever you're using as a calculator. I'm doing it by the TI. Parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to write this down so you can keep it in your notes so you can see what I'm doing. So A is equal to 9,000 times 1.0041666667. And I'm going to raise that. So hit the raise X to the Y or the caret symbol right here. Parentheses 12 times 7 close parentheses. Now 12 times 7 is 84, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and put an 84 right here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at one time, and you know, men can't do that. 84, and that's going to equal 1.41 blah, blah, blah. $1.418036052. And yes, I leave everything in the calculator and I round with my answer. I ain't rounding any of these numbers. And multiply that by 9,000. So times 9,000. And my final answer is, after 7 years, I've got $12,762.32. So basically, in 7 years, without lifting a finger, minus 9,000, 7 years, I earned $3,762.32, and I didn't do anything. Now, of course, the bank took that money on paper and invested it and made probably tens of thousands of dollars off of that investment of $3,762. Okay, I'm sorry, of $12,762. They made investments off of that money. Okay, which a lot of people don't realize that's what banks do. Yeah, they do. Okay. A lot of people think that banks just take that money and it sits in a drawer and nobody ever touches it. Well, no, that ain't true. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we're done. That's it. Who's got a question?
What happened to the 84?
I'm sorry, what?
What happened to the 84?
I took 1.004 and raised it to the 84th power, and that's what that is. So if you take 1.4180 36052 and raise it to the 84th power. Okay, what? Okay, I must have hit something wrong. Let me check that. Oh, no, it's this one, 1.004. Forget it. 1.004 1.66667. Raise that to the 84th power. There we go. 1.41803. So there's what happened to the 84.
Okay, thank you.
Now, let's have some fun with this. Let's say that Miss Hatton buys a lottery ticket. And lottery ticket, she wins $5 million. But she don't know what to do with it. Well, first thing I would do is put it in the bank. Put it in an IRA. I'll tell you why. Well, let's do it. $5 million. $5 million. And I'm going to put it in the bank. And that's going to be 1 plus, and I'm going to guarantee you they'd give you at least 8% on $5 million. Compounded monthly. And let's just say, let's leave it in the bank. Miss Hatton wants to leave it in the bank for 5 years. And she'll say, I'll know what I want to do after 5 years. So 5 times 12. And the first thing somebody's going to say is, well, I want to pay some bills off. With $5 million sitting in the bank, you can ask the bank for a short-term loan to pay your bills off. They will be glad to give you a short-term loan to pay your bills off. Anyway, A is equal to, so let's do it. Let's pull up our handy-dandy calculator. And let's do 0.08 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the 60th power multiplied by $5 million. And that gives us $7,449,228.54. Well, how much profit did we make? Well, just in 5 years, minus 5 million. So in other words, after 5 years, you would take your profit out. There's 5 million. In 5 years, you made $2.5 million. And of course, you would divide that by 5. And that would be, for the next 5 years, you would bring in $489,000 a year. I mean, a month. A year. Which divided by 12, if you wanted to pay yourself monthly, that would be $40,000 each month. So if you ever win $5 million, don't run out to the strip club and buy 3 new cars and do the redneck junk. Okay? First thing you do is put it in the bank where it's safe and figure out, you can leave it in for 1 year. But if you come up with $5 million, don't pull a redneck disorder and go out and get beat up and somebody steals all your money. How much of y'all, I could see that $5 million, you leave it in the bank as IRA, you leave it in there for another 5 years, pull off another $2 million. But you got to find the right bank to give you at least 8%. Some of y'all are going, golly. No, do like that guy in Texas did. Win the lottery, go out and buy you a big truck that you don't need, put $600,000 cash in the console, go to the strip club, come out, get beat up, and they steal your truck. Stupid. So what did we get? We got...
That sounded like a movie.
No, that actually happened to a guy in Texas. 762.32. Ding!
What do you say he did with the 600,000? What's a console?
Bro, come on.
Like your own race in your car.
It's between the two seats in your car.
Oh, no.
Okay, when you buy a big truck, the console between the seats is pretty big.
Listen. I asked the question before I thought about it. Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
I swear, when you said console, the first thing that came to my mind was a PS5, dude.
With the what?
PlayStation.
PlayStation 5.
Like a gaming console.
That is what's wrong with our society today.
Society today.
Okay, I'm gonna preach now, Mr. Hubbard. That's what's wrong. Got people won't start a revolution. They don't even know what a damn console is. They can't start a revolution. They don't even know how to start a lawnmower. All right, let's do another problem.
Damn.
That's okay. Some people call it something else. I don't know. I always call it console. All right, next question.
What do you call your trunk?
What?
What do you call your trunk? Just regular trunk?
Trunk?
My grandma calls it a boot.
Yeah, that's a lot of older people call it a boot because that's what it was called when cars first came out.
It'll pop the boot.
Yep. Where's your grandmother from?
Madison County, Georgia.
Okay. Well, Georgia and South Carolina and Mississippi and Alabama, we still dumb, ignorant, racist people. So, we still stupid down here. We're not perfect like those people up north are.
Massachusetts.
Okay. Let's go to the next question. I just did that one. Oh, gosh, I got to go back and change it. Hold on a minute. Subject. There we go. 155. There we go. All right. I think I just did that one. That's 6230, 6230, 6235/4. Miss Cersei, I skipped yours because it's the same one. Is that good for you? You want me to do another one?
No, that's fine. I got it.
Okay. All right. Next one is 6.235/4. Is this plug and chug or is this solve? This is solve. So here we go. Handy dandy. And let me look at the time, make sure y'all don't start convulsing. I got till 12:10. Okay. All right, so 3x
You can take longer.
minus 4y plus 20 is equal to 0. Now, me personally, for this question, I wouldn't put this question on the test. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that when I think of solving a formula for a variable, I don't think of this. I think of a science type formula. But in this case, it's not a formula, it's an equation. There's a difference. This one has all numbers and just a couple of variables. A formula has mostly letters, variables, and no numbers. Okay, this one's kind of a mix between the two. So they want to solve for y, so I'm going to highlight y. So that means I got to get rid of the 20 and the 3x. So how do you get rid of having $20? You got $20 and it's burning a hole in your pocket. What do you do with it?
Spend it.
You spend it. So I'm going to subtract 20 or take it across the river, and it becomes 3x minus 4y is equal to negative 20. Okay, take my highlighter back out. Things I do for y'all. And there's my, so now I got to get rid of the 3x. How do you get rid of a positive 3x? Well, you take it across the river, and it becomes negative 3x. Now I've got nothing but a 4, negative 4, and a y, but I don't want to get rid of the y. I just want to get rid of the 4. How do I undo multiplying by -4? That means I want y'all to answer it.
Divide by -4.
Divide by -4. So y is equal to 3/4 x plus 5. Okay, now go ahead and look at it and let it soak in for a few seconds and then see if you got any questions. Three-fourths x plus 5. And you feel good about yourself. Leave that on the video for a few seconds. That way anybody that needs it can pause it. Okay. So that one is a method 2. That's where you actually solve for a variable. And the variable that you're solving for is y. So you have to get rid of everything around the y. Now this one didn't have a fraction. If it had a fraction, I would have addressed the fraction before I've done anything. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that one. 6.2, 39/5. Okay, no fraction. Now this is one I would give you on a test because it's mostly variables. Okay, so P is equal to, I'm going to turn it around, 3a plus b plus 3c. And I'm solving, since I don't have any fractions or decimals, I can go ahead and I'm solving for b. That's what I'm solving for. So I'm going to highlight b. So I've got to get rid of 3c, a positive 3c, and a positive 3a. How did I get rid of both? I take them across the river. And that becomes P minus 3a minus 3c is equal to b. Capital P minus 3 lowercase a minus 3 lowercase c. Nice work, Hubert. I couldn't be a programmer. If I was a programmer, I would say, well, you got that one right, but the next one you'll get wrong. I would get fired the first week. And I thought it was funny. Next question. 6.252/6. We'll try to hurry up and get these last ones. There we go. Now we're doing a test question. This is a test question. So A is equal to 1/3 F times R plus B. I ain't even looking to see what we're solving for because that's not my priority right now. My priority is to get rid of that fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, and that's going to give me 3 and a 3 right here. And that's going to give me an A, and 1/3 F times R plus B. And of course, this goes out and leaves a 1. So we've got 3A, 3 capital A, is equal to F times R plus B. Now, I'm going to look and see what I'm solving for. I'm solving for R. Uh-oh. So I've got to get R by itself. What's the problem? 6.1. What's the problem? 6.1. What's the problem? What?
In parentheses, and it's like you have to.
It's in the block of concrete. So
yeah,
we either got to distribute or divide. And I'm going to show you both. 3A is equal to F times R plus B. Now this is important that you write both of these methods down because you might see a different answer in the MyLabs Plus. Here I'm going to divide by F first, which is the opposite of distributing. So 3A is equal to F times R plus B, and I'm going to take my green marker and I'm going to divide by F on both sides. And that will give me 3A over F is equal to R plus B, because of course the F's, they cancel. And then how do you get rid of a positive B? You take it across the river, and it becomes 3A over F minus B is equal to R. Now that's one form of the correct answer. I divided by F first. If you distribute, you're going to get (3A) is equal to FR plus FB. Take the FB across the river. Divide by F. 3A minus FB over F is equal to R. And that's another way to write the answer. The main thing you do when you go home tonight is you look over these two that I just did and make sure you understand the difference between dividing by F to get R plus B by itself and distributing F. Okay? So that's two ways that you can do that problem. And I know I'm over, but let me see if there's one more left. Let me see what they wrote theirs as. Hold on, number lock 3. Okay, my number lock's not working. There. Let's see which one they did. 3A over F minus B. So it looks like to me that they're following this method over here on the left, because they got this answer. It's not wrong. You can do it the other way, though. It's up to you. Whichever way you like it. I'm just going to look right quick and see if there's one more. I can't remember if I got another question in here or not. Let's look and see. Here it is. And that's 6.254. And all I'm going to do is set it up. 54/7. And I'm just going to set it up for you. Ernie, okay, this is just, okay, this is A is equal to 1, let's see, principal 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. He deposits 50/50. 1 plus 0.04 over compounded. They don't earn any deposits at 4% for 1 year. How much interest will he earn? Okay, I guess they're just doing it yearly. So that would be over 1 raised to the 1. N is 1 times how many years? 1 year. So that'd be A is equal to 50/50. 1 plus 0.04 raised to the first power. Say again, somebody say something.
We can't see the whiteboard.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. And while y'all are writing it, I'm going to do it on the calculator. And so at least we've done with these questions. So that's going to be 1.04 times 50/50. I get 52/52. So at the end of 1 year, he has 52/52, which is about $202 more than he had. Okay, let me check the roll right quick. Check the roll. Let me turn off the recorder. I don't have to check the whole roll.